15 years that I've been building this amazing business. I've had the fortunate privilege of being on the field side for 12 years, and I've now been on the corporate side for almost 3. And I'm just super excited about the perspective, super thankful every day that this is what I get to do. And quite honestly, I love watching teams like you going for the mountaintop, right? And knowing that whether or not you've ever felt like that's been something that is possible for you, that here in this moment, this is your time, this is your mountain, and you absolutely can and you will. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
That's so good. Thank you. I love it. Okay, so we always feel so inspired by you, of course, like anytime that we get on one of these Zooms. So that's kind of what I'm just ready for, and super excited just to hear just your perspective. So we obviously have people on here who are going for massive goals this month. Our team is pushing for ambassador, and everybody knows that. And we have girls that are on here who are just going for, the biggest rush that they've ever hit before. Some of them are going for diamond and just orders away. Some of them are really far from their promotions, and they're like, can I even do this? Like, this seems like just a freaking, mountain like you were talking about. Like, I don't even know if this is even something I should even keep pushing for. So let's talk about like running through the finish line. You went live on our team page, and one thing that you said that really spoke with me and like stuck with me was you said, the finish line is coming up, which is the end of the month, obviously, and we can keep pushing forward, like, and move your finish line so that you keep going. But she was like, one thing that you said was, are you going to run through the finish line? Are you going to run to the finish line? Or are you going to come up short of the finish line? And then you said, like, you get to choose. And so that was something that really, like, spoke to me. So will you just talk a little bit more about that and, like, what that means? Like, what does pushing through the finish line mean? Like, what does that look like for the next 2.5 days? What should our work ethic look like? What should our excuses look like? What should our effort and momentum and what should we be doing with our team to keep that focus going for the goal that we've set for ourselves at the beginning of the month?
So it's so funny. I have to tell you, I was kind of intimidated about this call tonight. I was intimidated because you have given me the privilege to share to your team, Morgan, multiple times. And my greatest fear is that you guys are going to show up and I'm going to let you down, or you're not going to get what you need. And so I was praying like crazy before we got together tonight. And I was just like, Lord, what do they need? What can I share? How can I help? And he reminded me of, it might actually make me emotional, actually. He reminded me of a moment when I was coaching girls basketball. And I was actually, at the time, I was the assistant varsity coach and I was the head freshman coach. And it was a guy who was the head coach, and his mentor was another guy who was actually the boys varsity coach. And so it was a women's sport led by men. And we were getting ready to head into the locker room at halftime of a game where we were not winning. We were not necessarily close, but we weren't being buried, and we'd been buried a lot that year. And so we're heading into halftime. We're standing outside the locker room where we meet, and we just like we literally just kind of like we all share what we think the strategy should be heading into the second half, and then we go in and we pump the girls up, right? And the boys both said, and I kid you not, they both said, we just got to get close. We just got to get close. If we can just get close. They've never been close before. And never in my life had I felt so absolutely unconnected to my core values. I was like, wait, our goal is to get close. Our goal isn't to win. Our goal is to just get within sight so they feel like it is possible. Like, how can we not go in that locker room and truly tell these women, look them in the eyes and say that they absolutely can do it? Now, is it likely they won't do it? Yeah, absolutely. But they also can do it. And while the odds might be stacked against them, and yes, getting blown out never feels good, but I'm telling you what, you guys, I am not somebody who would rather get close than give everything I've got and got blown out. I would never sit here and be the person that says to you, getting close feels good. That I don't believe that. I believe getting close is going to suck just as bad as getting blown away. But do you know what doesn't suck? Is knowing you did everything you could. Believing that your coach did everything you could, that's Morgan. Believing you did everything you could, you sent every last message, you sent every last voice memo, you followed up with every person on your list, even the ones that told you no last month. You came back this month and said, hey, maybe something has shifted, or perhaps somebody that hadn't been working, you picked up the phone and said, listen, how are things going? And, you know, you've tried everything. You've left no stone unturned. And you guys, I'm telling you, I walked in that locker room going, I am being mentored by two men who don't share the same core values as me. And that core value is that at the end of the day, even if I lose, if I know I did everything I could, I'm going to be okay. Because I'm going to know I tried. And at that point, then it's just for whatever reason, it's not my time. And I live my life by faith. And so sometimes faith is not, you can't, there's no explanation for faith other than just not right now. And from the minute I joined It Works, you guys, and I don't know why, other than it must have been a God thing, I said, and at that time, my number one goal was to replace my teaching salary so I could be home with my son. And at that time, it was, listen, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And it did take longer than I thought it should. If I'm being completely honest, I hear some of your stories and how quickly you guys have gone to Diamond, and my story is not inspiring. But I still was the first, you know, I was the second ambassador, first Black Diamond, one of the first two presidential diamonds in my 2.0 before I came over to this side. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to tell you that that is the perspective that I believe we need to have any month, any goal, any run we're going on. And you guys, I'm here to tell you that I can't promise you why things don't happen on our timeline quite like we wish they would. But I can tell you this, when you give it everything you got, you never end disappointed. You might feel like, dang it. You might feel embarrassed. You might feel like, because let's just be honest, there's some pride and there's some ego that's into that as well. And that's just normal. I would say you're not human if you don't have that. But the reality is, whether it happens at the time we want it to or not, it's going to happen. You get to decide that. You get to decide that. And then you get to decide if you can lay your head on the pillow on the 30th of June at midnight Central Time, if that's when you go to bed, fighting till the very last end, and you can go, listen, I can sleep well because I did everything I could. I know I did everything I could. And if you're saying to me, but Cami, I've already screwed around with 3 days this month and I didn't give it all the days I needed to, you can't change that now. All you can do is do what you can do for the next 2 days. That's what you can do. And we're going to do our darnest to give you what you need to equip you to run through that finish line. And so what does it mean to run through the finish line to me, Morgan? It's every ounce, every fiber of your being and belief is like, we're doing this. Everything that doesn't add to what your goal and your focus is eliminated for the next 2 days. You guys, I'm not saying you don't sleep. I'm just saying that, like, you don't need to decorate for the 4th of July in the next 2 days. You know, you don't need to have a photo session to be the most Instagrammable person over the next 2 days. Those are things that they don't have to be the priority. Your laundry doesn't have to get done over the next 2 days. You don't even need to eat super fancy meals over the next, you know, we've got Uber Eats and y'all can do that. So that's what running through the end of the finish line looks like to me. And this is the other thing. And this is what God said to me when I asked him what I should talk to you guys tonight. He said, vision leaks. Vision leaks. So that means we got to cast vision often. And what that means to me is, I believe as you close out the next 24 plus hours, you need to know exactly who you're looking for in bomb customers and bomb distributors that are going to be joining your team in the next 48 hours. What do I mean by that? What kind of characteristics do you want your customers having? You need to have vision about your customers. You need to have vision that they care about their health. They're willing to invest. They're not just trying to get in on a good deal like pick 2 or pick 3. They're like, now, because she has pick 2 and pick 3, I can buy multiple products I couldn't have bought before. Like, what do you want your customers to be like? Describe that. Write that down right now. Those of you looking at me, I love it because you're plugged in, but I want you to start writing that down right now. Even if right now your camera goes off, it's because I know you've flipped up to your notes and you're writing some of those things down. I love it. Many of you are putting those in the chat. That's even better, because I think we need to borrow that belief and that vision from each other. Now, how about distributors? What kind of distributors do you want? Do you want distributors that were just looking for the next sale, the next time the business went on discount? No, you want people that would have paid $2.99 all day long, so they understand the value. They're self-governed. They've been praying. They've been praying for their ship to come in. And as much as they may or may not have wanted this to be their ship, they recognize finally that this is their ship. Maybe they're fun. Maybe they're, generous, they're kind, they're loving, they're hardworking. What are you looking for? Because I find too often we're aimlessly targeting people to join our business, but we don't really know what we're looking for. And when you know what you're looking for, that's what you're going to get every single time. So I want you to be crystal clear about what you're looking for, especially as you close out these next 48 hours, few hours plus of the month. I want you to be crystal clear about who those people are going to look like, because I think that's a powerful part of having massive success. Because I don't know about you guys, but I found myself very easily saying things like, the quality of my customers suck, they're not serious about results. Or I'd find myself saying things like, am I just like attracting duds right now? And I believe if you're thinking that, you probably are. So what should you be thinking about? The kind of person you want to attract, not the ones that you're feeling. And that's really victim mentality versus power. Like you're giving away your power. And I don't want you doing that over the next 48 hours. Here's another thing that I was thinking of. I said vision leaks and you need to cast vision on a regular basis. I also believe in visualizing. So another story for you. You might get tired of my stories tonight, Morgan, and that's all right. You can disinvite me to the next call. But when I was playing basketball myself, I had a great coach who literally, like, he would say in the locker room, now you guys, I didn't know this about myself, but I am such a driven, hardworking person. I would not have guessed that this is who I was. And I kind of reconnected with a girl that was like the captain of my basketball team when I was a sophomore. And she said, you used to piss me off. And I was like, I did? Why? And she was like, because we're right minutes before the game and you're like dancing around in your sports bra to some fun music. And she's like, I'm like in my mind visualizing and thinking about the game and trying to get serious, and you're just having fun. And I kind of laugh, because if you talk to my kids would be like, oh no. Mom would be like, are you visualizing? Are you seeing yourself shooting the free throws? Are you watching yourself box out and getting the rebound? And I am like that, but I also believe if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And so have fun. If you guys are rocking out power hours for the next 48 hours, like put some music on, have some jams going, like, have things happen where you're dinging bells and I got a customer, or whatever as it's happening, because you want to have fun. I mean, when I look back at some of the runs I went through, as tiring as some of them were, I wish for them back all day long. That was some of the most fun that we ever had. And so celebrate those times, but I want you to visualize. So as we've been talking about what running through the finish line looks like, my question to you is, what does it look like for you? Close your eyes right now. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What are the sounds, the sights, that you're hearing, the smells that you're hearing about running through the finish line? And quite frankly, so I might have been dancing in the locker room, but the minute that Star Spangled Banner, whatever it was that was going off, before the game, and we're all lined up around the perimeter of the 3-point line, I would lock on one of the stars on the American flag. And in those, however long that song is, 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, I watched myself making free throws. I watched myself driving the lane and shooting layups. I saw myself, ball faking, giving a great assist, or I saw myself ball faking and shooting the three and going through. Get specific about what you see happening for you over the next 2 days. If you can't see it, then you won't be it. And so visualizing is a hardcore principle of success. That is belief on a whole nother level. Belief is seeing what is not so it will be so. And that's where faith comes into action. And so visualizing is the next piece that I want you thinking about as you're getting ready to finish out this month. And so, you know, maybe on the beginning of your power hours, Morgan, you guys are talking about what you're seeing. Customers are flocking to you. Your inbox is lighting up. People are begging to do host to post for you. Instead of $50 orders on average, you're making $110 orders on average. You know, it's really visualizing and believing what you're seeing, because then all of a sudden it just happens, and I can't explain it. I just know that it works. And so know what you're looking for, have fun, visualize what you want, and then get ready to celebrate, because you guys, your time is coming. You are on an ambassador race, right? And the people you're becoming in the process is pretty flippin' cool.
Thank you. That was so good. A lot of that was just like new, or just like a refresher of things that we knew but like haven't been doing, you know, like that's why it's so important as leaders to just repeat ourselves over and over again, because you've told me that before, but it was just like a different season, and so it just means something different in this season. So
Totally.
that was definitely a like wake up call in a very loving way, because I know, like, I mean, it's easy to lose the vision. Like, we know what we want, but then like things happen in our day and we're like, oh, this customer turned off their auto ship, and then we like lose the vision so easily. So if we're consistent about being, you know, clear about our vision every single day, then it just gets that much more clear, and it doesn't matter those little things that happen that are, you know, going to stand in our way. Like, we're just going to keep going and push forward and hit that actual goal. So, and I like that you said, like, so I don't know if y'all caught this at the end, like, of what she said, but she said that we're on an ambassador run, and that's something that she talked to me about like last month, because, you know, we were pushing for ambassador last month. They're pushing for it again this month, and we've been pushing for it for a while, but we just haven't quite hit it. And she was like, it doesn't matter when you go ambassador. Yes, push as hard as you can. You know, obviously this month we're pushing like we're going ambassador, but she was like, at the end of the day, this is an ambassador run. So whether we hit ambassador last month or not, we're still on our ambassador run. And so it's a movement. Like, all of us are moving in one direction. It's like finding Nemo with the net at the end. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, swim down. That's us right now going for ambassador. And like, if we're sitting there with the net and like they're trying to, you know, bring us up in the net, but if we swim down, we can break that net and eventually get where we want to go, which is to be free, right? So we're swimming down, and like that is our movement, but that's all of us working together. And so your part that you play in this is figuring out where you want to go, because the ambassador, I don't want you to wake up and be like, I need to get Morgan to ambassador. That doesn't actually help me at all. I need you to work for you. I need Tara to want to go double diamond for her. I need Emily Parker to want to go double diamond for her. I need Sarah to want to go double diamond for her, and to really push for those goals for yourself, because you're going to wake up for yourself. You're going to show up for yourself, because if you won't show up for yourself, who will you show up for? So you have to show up for yourself first, and know that you need to put yourself first. And it's the most selfless thing that you can do a lot of times, because if you can't pour into yourself, you can't give to other people. You can't pour out to other people. So when you pour into yourself, and Sarah wakes up and says, I'm going double diamond, and I'm clear on my vision. These are the type of distributors that I want. These are the customers that I'm bringing in. I am a mass customer enroller. I am a mass distributor enroller, and they're all rock stars, and we have duplication. Then she shows up for herself. It like runs through her team, and then Sarah is a huge part of this whole team going ambassador. Same with Tara, same with Emily, same with everybody else that I didn't mention. So you have to show up for you before you'll show up for me, because that's a fleeting goal. I've had some people this month tell me, like, I'm sorry I didn't show up for you how I should have. I said, boo-boo, you didn't show up for you how you should have, because you weren't showing up for me. That's a byproduct of you showing up for yourself. Because I don't want you to wake up every morning and just get me to ambassador. I want you to go after every single thing that you can have in this business, every single thing that's available for you. So on that note, Kami, what are some things that you did whenever you're building your business in the field, like, to really help your team? Because, like, I mean, you had this freaking massive team. Like, I mean, probably the biggest one. I mean, I know you're the *1 income earner, but you may or may not have had the biggest team, but you had a massive team. You had a lot of people who were leading and a lot of ambassadors. So what did you do, like, to literally build your team? And not just to bring in distributors, but to, like, actually help them go Ruby, help them go Diamond. Because I think a lot of us struggle either with getting distributors in, or we can bring them in, but we don't know what to do with them whenever they're here.
Well, here's the thing. I love when you're talking about people showing up for themselves, but you guys, early on, some people don't know how to show up for themselves. You might be one of them. You might be like, you're talking to me right now. And because my goal was double diamond in the beginning, because my goal was double diamond and I was mad focused on double diamond, they got swept up in that tide rolling in, and so they might not have even known what they wanted truly yet, but they were having so much fun being a part of something. And that can be your story. You can be having such a great time being a part of Morgan's ambassador run that all of a sudden you're going to wake up one day and realize, no, this is about you. Actually, this is about what you want, and this is what you get. So, Morgan, here's the thing. Like, I'm just going to go back to it again. It's, what do you want? Why are you here? And if you're not sure yet, I'd be journaling the heck out of that until I found out more about what has me here or what's keeping me here. But I would say number 2 is being a part of that vision. That's why where there's no vision, people perish. So whether it's a goal of yourself or how you're contributing to something greater than yourself, that's going to be what keeps you moving forward as you continue to dive in and discover what your purposes for being here are. And then I would simply say, you guys got to visualize every aspect of your business. I mean, you got to pretend like when you pick up that phone to call somebody, that you call them, they're excited to hear from you. What do we do instead? We're like, well, what if they don't want to hear from us? Or what if they see our name and they're scared? They're like, oh no, they're calling again. Why are you visualizing that? Visualize them going, oh my gosh, that's Cammie. I forgot to call her back. Oh my gosh, that's Cammie. I've been dying to buy the product, but it just hasn't. I hope she'll put it in for me because I'm just like so busy. Like, what are you visualizing about the business? And it's just those small pieces that those small wins breed bigger wins. And what I love about this team, what I love about Morgan, number 1, Morgan, your vision is so big. There are people on this call right now that are benefiting from no vision, but they're buying into yours. That's a win. That's a start until they develop their own. And so I just want to say kudos to you. And I want to say for the rest of you, when they say the pace of the leader is the pace of the pack, I hope you're super, super thankful that Morgan is the head of this team. And I don't pretend that she's perfect, but my gosh, she certainly is so much further ahead of the game than most other people are. And she cares. She cares. That's why when she says, will you get on my call? I say yes, because I know it's not wasted. I know it's not in vanity effort. Sometimes I get on calls because I feel so darn bad for the team. Other times, most of the time though, I get on call because I truly believe in the leader. I believe in the leader and the mission of the team. And that's what I see in this team. And so you've got 48 hours left to the end of this month. And it really comes down to this. Do you want to wake up on July 1st and go, dang it, I could have done more. I could have done more. And we've all had that feeling. And I'll tell you what, when I wake up with that feeling, I feel sick. I feel physically sick. And then I have the times I lost the game, but I woke up going, phew, I'm a whole lot stronger than I thought I was. I mean, my goodness, I had a whole lot more in the tank than I even realized. I'm kind of impressed. I mean, I sure would have been a whole lot more better if we would have won, but at least, I literally have no regrets. I have no regrets. And to me, that's what running through the finish line looks like, is having no regrets. And some of you don't even know what that looks like yet. So I want you just to hold on. I want you to hold on to hold on to the coattails of your leader. Hold on to the coattails and just follow whatever they're doing. Duplicate, show up on the power hour. If they say make a call, make a call. If they say visualize before you make the call, visualize before you make the call. Because being a part of something is better than being a part of nothing, as you're determining what your dreams, your goals, and your path of purpose is. And I truly believe some of you, you haven't even figured out what you're here for yet, but it will come. It will come as you keep taking that next step. And as you take that step, the next step will be lit and you'll go, I had no idea. I had no idea. But just saying yes and staying in the game is going to be so valuable for you. So my, if we're putting our head in the huddles, in the huddle right now, I'm going to look each of you in the eye and say, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And what makes me proud of you is seeing you here right now, looking at me right here, going, all right, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my part. And whether it ends like I want it to end or not, I'm going to know I died trying, and that's what it's all about. That's what you can feel good about at the end of the day. That's what you can call Morgan and said, I showed up for you the best I can. We fell just short. That's all right. We'll get back up. We're going to keep on pushing. But that's a winning mentality. That's a growth mentality. That is I'm stronger than I knew I was mentality. That is, I can and I will. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. But here's what I know. I'm going to learn everything there is to know by pushing through the end of the month. And that's what you have right now, you guys. There are people out there that need what we have. The only way they're going to hear it is if you pick up the phone, you send the message, or you make the post. That's the only way they're going to hear it. And my question to you is, do you believe they deserve what you're getting right now? Are you on this call right now going, I feel special? Are you on this call right now going, I am so lucky to be a part of this team? Then why wouldn't you give that gift to other people? Why wouldn't you allow other people to have that opportunity? I sat with a woman on the beach yesterday who still does not understand what her value and her worth is. But you know what? She stayed in the game for one more day. And while she is not taking the action that I know she's capable of, she stayed in the game one more day, and I believe she's going to get it. The switch is going to flip here any minute now. And that's our job, is to allow people the opportunity. Where else do they get the opportunity? But when you don't ask, when you don't send the message, when you don't make the post, you're essentially saying they don't deserve it and they're not worth it. And I want you to say something different tonight. I want you to say something different in the next 24, 48 hours, because I believe they are worth it. I believe they do deserve it. I believe you deserve it. I believe Morgan's an ambassador. She just doesn't have the title yet. And the second she goes ambassador, it's like the 4-minute mile. So many others of you are going to be hitting that as well. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that compliment as well. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, that, like, this team, and this is what I keep saying, like, we're an ambassador team, and some of these people have been in for years with us, and they've seen the different team, people come and people go, but this is truly like the best and strongest that our team has ever been. And so I'm like, if we're going ambassador, which we are, but like, the time is now. Like, this is the time to do it. It's happening. And so I just need y'all to give it every single thing that you have. And I'm committed as your leader to do the exact same thing. And I'll never ask you to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. And I just wanted to, have Candy on here tonight with us for a little bit, just to kind of pep us up and get us, hyped for the week and also for the rest of the month, and just to keep, give you the encouragement that you need to keep pushing and remind you, like, it's not over till it's over. Some of you have so many things that you can still do in the next 2 days. Set small goals for yourself. Maybe you're really, really far from your promotion. Maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to get as close as I can. And that's what she was saying at the beginning, like that basketball analogy where the basketball game, that was so good. Like, even if you can't win, make little wins. Get little wins along the way and get as close as you possibly can. Maybe that's finishing a fast start, helping someone that you just signed up get a shopping spree. Maybe that's your goal for the rest of the month. Maybe your goal for the rest of the month is to hit a certain GV that you never thought that you would be able to hit. Get your group volume where you want it to be. Maybe some of you are brand new and getting your shopping spree. Maybe you don't go Ruby this month, but maybe you get your shopping spree, and it's not dumbing down your goal, because the goal is still the same. Your goal is still to go Ruby. So you're saying, in the next 2 days, I'm committed to doing this one thing, and that's going to get me closer to Ruby, and it's going to help me to feel like I've accomplished something, because I know for a lot of us that's such a good feeling. Like, who doesn't want to feel accomplished? So that is something that I'm challenging you to do, something that I'm challenging myself to do. Like, okay, so how close can we get this month? What all can we do? What can we finish off on our charts? So last month, we missed ambassador, but every single person, every box got finished on the chart. So we got really freaking close, and we just missed about the group volume. So now our goal is, how close in our group volume can we get this month so that we can surpass that next month and hit it, or how many fast starts can we get, or how many new rubies can we pop, or how many people can get their shopping spree? Set small goals. And if you need to reach down in your team and help them set goals for themselves, do that too, because some people don't know how to set goals. So be that person that reaches down into your team and says, hey, what are your goals for this week? Let's come up with them together. Let's brainstorm. What does your chart look like? And I would encourage you to not only have your chart out, but to have a Ruby chart out for the people that are on your team. When's the last time that you got a chart out for them? that's something that I changed up a couple of months ago, which sounds so crazy and it's like almost embarrassing to say, but that's something that I changed up a couple of months ago, and it's made all the difference in the world. And so many people are promoting because I just took that extra step to tell them to get their chart out. And so they don't even know how close they are to promoting, and they're so close. So, Cami, do you have like one last, I don't want to like cut you off. So is there like one last thing that you have to say, and then we can hop off? I don't know what your time looks like. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Well, I do have some stacked end of month calls tonight, but I wanted to make sure that I got to jump on with you. I was actually, you always make me feel so good when you ask me to join. But you guys, I just want you to know, you can do it. You can do it. And I don't know what your fairy tale ending looks like, time frame wise, but I know that if I can do this thing, you can do this thing. And I want you to know that Mark, Pam, Mike, myself, Kyler, kids, we're not the coaches outside of the locker room going, oh, if they just get close, they're going to feel so good. Like if they just get close, like they've never been close before. No, we're the ones in the outside the locker room saying, oh, hell no, they're going to win. Actually, these are winners. These are people that finish what they start. These are people that maybe this isn't for them and they've never had opportunities like this before, but that's then, and this is now. And this is your time. And I am telling you, if you've ever worked out and you've had that trainer in the front of the room going, you can do it. You're stronger than you think you are. One more dip, one more pulse. By the way, I'm so sore. Kelsey sent me a workout yesterday and I can barely walk. I can barely walk, but it feels good knowing that I did what I did, you know. And you guys, you got this. You got this. This is your setup. This is your time. Maybe you've never had the chance before. This is your chance now. Maybe you have had the chance before and you've worried that you're never going to get it again. Oh no, you are. And it's now. And this is your time. And I couldn't be more excited for you. The climate is right. Everything is it's just like the perfect storm all the way around. And it's your time. It's your time. So whatever is put in front of you over the next 48 hours, just say yes, plug in, eliminate any distractions that'll keep you from this goal, and just go out and have some fun. Okay. Visualize every single thing you know you got to do, and visualize executing exactly like you want to in dreamland execute, because that can be your reality if you believe it. So.
That's so good. Thank you. Thank you for hopping on here with us. We appreciate it. All right.
Love you guys.
Love you too. All right, guys, we're going to hop off here. We have our regular team Zoom tomorrow night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. This is just a pop-up if you're brand new. We normally don't have Zooms at this time, but there was actually quite a few of y'all on here for it being so last minute and totally not on our normal schedule. So I appreciate that. And I hope that this was helpful for you.